what you actually need to run a cookie business in 2026. Let's talk about it. So before you go out and spend hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars on your cookie supplies, let me tell you what you actually need to run a profitable cookie business, especially if you were just getting started. When I first started making cookies and I started charging for my cookies and started this cookie business journey, I really thought that success meant that I had everything together, that that everything had to be perfect. I thought that I had to have all of the supplies. I thought I had to have every single cutter that was trending out there that was the best. I thought I had to have the best system, the best way to take payments, the best website, all of those things and all of those tools. And I felt like I needed to have those things in order to be successful. And I bought a lot of those things. And I bought them thinking, okay, I'm going to use this. This is what I need for my business. This is what other people are telling me that I need for my business. And I thought that I would use all of those things. And I was convinced that I needed them. And I really thought that I needed them to be taken seriously. And you know, what happened was my kitchen became overloaded with gadgets and cluttered with cutters and supplies and tools. And when that happens, maybe you are like me as well. Whenever that happens, my brain just gets overwhelmed. And when I have a lot of clutter around me, or like when my baker's rack gets like full and I can't fit anything else on it, or my dehydrator has cookies in it, like it gets overwhelming and I almost feel like it's like suffocating, like I can't breathe. And not to mention, buying all of those things was not cheap, right? Like it was hitting the pocketbook for sure. And I realized quickly after having these things, after not using a lot of the things that I thought I had to have, like a dehydrator. I didn't have a dehydrator for a really long time, probably at least 8 years into business. I didn't even have a dehydrator, and I'm so glad I didn't, because you don't have to have it. But what I learned by buying all of the latest gadgets and gizmos and icing colors and all of the fancy things, packaging, you name it, I realized quickly that that was overwhelming me, and it wasn't serving me, and I needed to simplify. And maybe that's going to be my word for 2026. I kind of feel like it might possibly be simplifying. And but once I focused on what are the essentials that I need to run this cookie business, not all of these extras, not more tripods, not more cookie cutters, not more trays, not more tags for my packaging, right? What are the things that I needed that were essential to run my business? And let me tell you what happened. I was able to be faster in my decorating. I was able to be more confident. I was faster in decorating. I was faster in packaging. I was faster in getting back to people. Do you see this? I was able to be more confident of like, this is what I'm charging. This is what I have. Instead of having all of these other elements and things that can be great things, but it was overwhelming to my system, and probably it was overwhelming to my customers as well. And so I wanted to keep it simple. I wanted to keep it easier for myself, because if I was overwhelmed, that's going to steal my joy. And I'm going to start regretting and start not enjoying cookies. And that's not where I want to be at all. So today I want to break down what you actually need to run a successful cookie business. We're not going to fluff this up. I'm not going to give you a sales pitch on all of these like great things behind me that you can use for your business. No, I want to give you the essentials that you need for your business to be successful, so that you are not spending thousands and hundreds of dollars on things that maybe aren't as important. Might be great things and they might be really useful, but they're not serving you well and you don't actually need them. So let's talk about number one, the cookie essentials. So we're going to start with the basics. These are the tools that I have had from the beginning, that they are the GOAT, I guess, if you want to say. They are the best. They're the ones that you need. And that first one is a mixer. You got to have a mixer. I definitely recommend that you have a stand mixer. If you are trying to do cookies and icing with a handheld mixer, it's going to be a little bit difficult. So I would definitely recommend a stand mixer. I love my KitchenAid mixer. I've had several KitchenAid mixers now over the years. Cannot recommend them enough. They're fantastic and they last a long time. There's other cookiers that, like the Bosch. It's a little bit more pricier, but they swear by it. And if you're doing a high quantity of cookies, it's a great one to have. You can do lots of huge batches in that. But recommend a stand mixer. I think Cuisinart also has a really good stand mixer. It doesn't have to be name brand. You don't have to spend hundreds of dollars on a mixer, but you do need a stand mixer. Next up is you need to have some good tipless piping bags. If you are just starting out, I really suggest that you order piping bags from several different shops. There's lots of places you can order from. Amazon, you can order from the Cookie Countess, you can order from the Sweet Design Shop, lots of different places that you can get piping bags. But I want you to get piping bags that fit your needs and what you feel the most comfortable with. They are gonna all come in different sizes, different textures on the bag, and you've got to figure out what works best for you. The best way to do that, they're usually about $5 to $7 for a pack of 100. I recommend getting a few of them from the different shops and testing them out. See what you like. Do you like it with more texture or less texture on the bag? Do you like a smaller bag? Do you like a larger bag? It makes a really big difference in how you are decorating and how you are able to decorate that cookie, your confidence decorating that cookie. It makes a really big difference. So definitely grab some tipless bags. They are tipless now, so you don't need any tips really to even get started with. There's so many different tutorials out there on how to use tipless bags. It's what I use all the time now. The only time that I use a tip, and it's very, very rare occasion, is if I'm lettering on a cookie. That's about the only time. And a lot of times I do that with a tipless bag. Probably 7 out of 10 times I'm going to use a tipless bag. So definitely invest in some bags, find out what works for you, what you like, and what you are going to be the most comfortable with. It's going to make a huge difference. Next is you want to figure out your icing colors and get some, I recommend that you use one brand if at all possible. I use mostly AmeriColor. You can see them back here on my cart. I use mostly AmeriColor. I do also like the Cookie Countess, has a great assortment of colors that I really like as well. But you don't need all the color of the rainbow. I know Amazon has a little pack of, I think it's 8, or they do different sizes. They have like an 8, 12, 24 pack of icing gel colors that are in the little small bottles. Highly recommend starting out with those. I used those for years before I invested in taller, bigger bottles. And so definitely figure out, just like with the bags, you're going to figure out what gel colors you like the most. You don't feel like you have to have every color of the rainbow under the sun. I want you to keep it simple. And most of the time with those basics, like the 12 basics from AmeriColor, you're going to be able to make almost any color. Side note, if you have not checked out the color chart that Georgianne has, she's from Lila Loa. She has a color chart that if you are trying to achieve a certain color and you need some help, you're like, this is different from what is in the bottle. I highly recommend her color chart. You can grab it on Amazon. You can grab it on her website. It's phenomenal. And she uses AmeriColor color gels for that. And then most importantly, you got to make sure you have a really good sugar cookie recipe and an icing recipe. If you don't have one, there's lots of them available online. But I want you to have the best recipe, and maybe you take a recipe and you tweak it just a little bit and you make it your own. That is perfection, and that's what's going to take you really far. Or there might be some recipes that you're like, this one is great. This is the one that I've been using for years, and this is the one I'm going to stick with. And then your icing, a lot of your meringue powders have the icing recipe already on there. I recommend going with that. I use Jeannie's Dream, and my icing recipe is pretty much the same as what is on her packaging. And the difference is I am not frothing my meringue powder in the beginning. We just dump it all in and go. So make sure that you have those recipes, because those are going to be your bread and butter, your cookie and icing that you're going to take into your cookie business, and it's going to serve you hopefully for lots of time. Now, let's talk about the part that people often skip, and they really shouldn't, and that's about your licensing and food laws. I get lots of questions about this, and what do I do about can I sell cookies in my area? Do I need to be an LLC? Do I need to have labeling on my packaging? All of that. Well, I know that this is the part that nobody likes, but you got to make sure that you are protecting yourself and you are protecting your business. So if you are wondering about what are the laws in your area, honestly, Google is going to be your best friend. Is you're going to be looking up what are the cottage food laws for your area, and then looking up what is the laws for selling out of your home and as a food and cottage baker for your city and state that you live in. So each city and state is going to be different. Sometimes they're going to say you can't do pickups in your area. Sometimes they'll say you can't do classes in your home. But you just have to look and see what that is. And Google is really the best place for you to find that information so that you can better serve your community, and so you can be in the know and know, okay, this is exactly what I need to have on my packaging, what labeling. So now I know what I need to put on that sticker that I'm going to be making or ordering or whatever. So it just kind of gives you that base of where to go, like what to do, so that you are not just guessing. If you are doing online ordering, if you're having people order cookies from you, even if you are starting out really small and you're like, I'm just going to do a few of these maybe a week, definitely make sure you have some type of simple system where customers can order those cookies, they can pay for those cookies, and you can track everything as much as possible so that it's going to just save you on time and stress. This is how we set up our Cookie Business Hub, is for people who are ordering custom cookies online. They are doing their holiday pre-sales, but it gives cookiers one place for their orders and for their customers and their communication. Like, you don't want to have, you're getting text messages from your neighbors, you're getting Facebook DMs from somebody else that lives in your neighborhood or lives in your town about your Christmas cookies coming up. You want to keep it super simple and keep it all in one place. And then the next thing is you really want to have some basic bookkeeping. I highly recommend QuickBooks. You don't need anything super detailed and robust when you are starting out. You could even just start out, if you don't want to invest in QuickBooks, if you want to just do use Excel and just track your expenses, track your sales, so that you can look at the end of the quarter, at the end of the payment period, the end of the month, the end of the year, whatever it is, that you can see how much was coming in and how much was going out. That's going to be so, so important when it comes to your business, and if you want to continue being in business, and what decisions you need to make moving forward. All right, third one is what not to waste money on. I love this one so much because we talk about all the things that we need, and we need all these different things. But let's talk about the things that we don't really need. Okay, controversial, but you don't need 200 cookie cutters. You don't. You don't. A few years ago, I think it was last year, I actually pared down a ton of my cookie cutters. Probably 80% of my cookie cutters I got rid of and I donated. And you know what? It was so freeing, and I've not regretted a single cutter. Part of that is because I'm a part of the Sprinkle Factory library. So I know that any design that I need, I am able to get as a part of the library. I can download that and print that on my 3D printer. But also, honestly, like if I needed a cookie cutter, I probably have something that could work, or I could find something and order it if I really, really need it for a custom set. Maybe a friend is ordering, or like a Christmas cookie. I kind of kept my basics around, and the ones that I know that I use, like I kept my basics for like a wedding set, a baby shower set, but I really pared them down. I didn't need 10 different baby onesies to do a baby shower. I picked a couple of my favorites, and then I got rid of the rest of them. Next is you don't need every gadget that launches out there in the world. You don't need all of the things that are attaching to your mixer. And while they're great things and they're really, really cool, you don't have to have all of them. And so I don't want you to feel like that pressure of like, oh, but I have to have this, and this is made by a cookier, so I have to have this. Absolutely, you don't have to have all of those things. And then specialty tools. I would not invest in those specialty tools like a projector or a dehydrator. I would definitely invest in a projector, would be the number one thing that I would suggest investing in, that can help you get better with your cookies. They can help you to charge more for your cookies because your cookies are going to be better, would be a projector. But a dehydrator, do you have to have it? No, absolutely not. You don't have to have it. Do you have to have an eddy? Absolutely not. I recently just got mine a few months ago. You definitely don't have to have an eddy. You definitely don't have to have a lot of these gadgets and gizmos that you think that you might need. I would just be really, really smart. And as you grow, then you can add those tools that you want. But starting out, this is for starting out. Like we're talking about what are the things that you have to have when you are starting out. So those other things can come later as your business grows, as you start taking on more orders. But for right now, we're going to keep it simple, and we're going to keep those offers repeatable so that you are not overwhelmed. You're able to serve your customers in the best way possible without less stress for yourself, right? Number 4 is having beginner-friendly workflow. One thing that makes a huge difference early on in your cookie business is having a simple workflow. I cannot recommend this enough, because when you're juggling all of these different balls, if you don't have a good system, you're going to be dropping balls left and right. So I really recommend separating your work into different days. You have a baking day, maybe you have a decorating day, and you have a packaging day. Highly, highly recommend. Now, maybe your decorating day is several days in a row, but I definitely recommend separating those out. I did this early on and figured out very quickly as it became overwhelming. You can't just work on one order at a time. I would go in a week is how I would structure my schedule and my system, and I would bake everything that I needed to for that week on one day, on day one. Whether that was a Sunday, sometimes it was a Monday. And then I had a decorating day. Decorating day was usually Tuesday and Wednesday. And then I had a packaging day. Packaging day was Thursday or Wednesday is my packaging day. And then my pickup day was on Friday. So I really, really kept it in those buckets. So it made it so much easier when I'm trying to figure out a good system, when I'm trying to make dentist appointments for the kids, when I'm trying to figure out when I'm going to go work out at the gym, when I'm trying to do life and be a mom, but also run a business. Okay. So it's going to help you when you have this system, when you set up a system that works for you, it's going to help you to stay focused. It is going to help you and prevent any burnout that you've got going on, possibly. I hear you. And it's going to help you to kind of work around those real life things. Like I said, you're probably a mom that's doing car pickup, that is making lunches, that's getting kids on the bus, that's handling homework in the evenings, making dinner for your family, right? And so you've got to figure out a good system that works, right? It's like when you have a newborn and you are like, I don't know what I'm doing, and everything's just kind of chaotic. I craved having some type of system so that I wasn't losing my mind, because everything felt chaotic. Everything felt very new, but I needed to get that baby on a schedule so that I knew so that I could function. Honestly, I needed to be able to function to say, how can I show up the best version of myself, and what do I need to do? The one thing that most beginners overlook is having a system for communication for your orders. So this is not sticky notes. It's not the notes app in your phone. It's not your Facebook Messenger, right? Because if you're relying on those things, I am here to tell you, because it's happened to me so many times, is those things are going to fail you, and you're going to forget them. You're going to forget orders. You're going to forget details. And you got to have some type of system where you're writing things down, whether that's a notebook that you keep with you at all times, or whether that is a planner that you have that maybe you use on a regular basis. You've got to have something that you are going to be able to use that's going to help you to communicate the best way with your customers that are placing your orders, and also how you can keep track of your system that you've got going on. So when your orders and messages live in one place, everything is going to feel so much lighter, and you are going to be able to show up so much better for your customers. And it also trickles into your family life as well. So lots of benefits there. So guys, those are my tips for getting started. What are the things that you really, really need to have in your cookie business? If you want a clear step-by-step path for building your cookie business that actually works for you and works for your life without overbuying things, without burning out, without guessing, I created a cookie business blueprint. This is my free blueprint download just for you, and I would love for you to download it and start using it. You can start using it today. It's got some really, really great information in there for you to help you get started. So I'm going to put the link here below so that you can check it out. You can download it right away. And it's just going to walk you through what to set up, what you need to focus on, and what are those things that you need to skip, especially in those early stages. So you're going to be able to find the link below. And if this video has helped you at all, please make sure to like it, send me a comment, subscribe, and share it with a fellow cookier. I would love for you to do that, who just is starting out maybe as well, or like, I found this to be really, really helpful of keeping things simple, of what are the things that I really need to do, and forgetting all of that other fluff and things that probably don't really matter. Share it with those that you love. Give me a like and a comment, and make sure you subscribe, because I can't wait to see you in our next video. And I want to see you in the next video making better systems, making better decisions for your business that are going to make you win this year. Thanks so much, guys. I appreciate it, and I can't wait to see you guys next time. Bye, guys.